and the Undersecretary General for Humanitarian Affairs, Mr. Tom Fletcher. We thank them for informative briefings. We also listen very closely to the representative of the civil society, Ms. Summer Nasser. The situation in Yemen continues giving rise to serious concern. The internal political and the socio-economic instability continue against a background of a considerable risk that active hostilities may resume. The number of armed incidents along the front line has gone up, and any such incident could become an uncontrolled clash. The country is feeling lack of foodstuffs, medicines, and fuel. There are power outages, and there is a growing inflation, which leads to rising prices. All of this compounds the everyday difficulties ordinary Yemenis feel. The number of people who are in need of humanitarian assistance is at a critically high level. It's almost 20 million people. Another problem that's remaining is insufficient funding for the humanitarian response plan, and the already paltry resources of the UN in this country are dwindling very rapidly. To date, the issue having to do with the UN and humanitarian staff detained by Ansar Allah is unresolved. But the main reason for the worsening situation on the ground, as well as for the undermining of humanitarian efforts, the main reason for that is a lack of progress on the political track. We still see no alternative to resuming a sustainable negotiating process following the roadmap for the Yemeni settlements. The provisions of this have to be endorsed as binding agreements between warring parties. What is important is to make sure that work continues to create the conditions for a fully fledged inclusive dialogue, including all of the Yemeni protagonists, including Ansar Allah. We do support the mediation efforts made by Envoy Grunberg. It's important to make sure that we do not lower our level of attention to organizing negotiations between countries, as well as towards stimulating small steps aimed at strengthening interaction between them on practical issues. This is the only line that could lead us to sustainable peace. Further stagnation of the situation could result in large-scale destabilization, deteriorating situation in the region as a whole. Mr. President, the internal problems in Yemen are accompanied by the also difficult situation in the nearby marine areas. After several months of relative calm, unfortunately, we're witnessing renewed attacks on commercial vessels in the Red Sea. We condemn the most recent incidents, which resulted in a loss of